everyone doing? Thank you for coming. When I was asked to do this, I was told the theme was love and not to preach to you all. And I told Eric, I said, man, I don't even know how to preach. So good right there. I hope today what I have to share with you will touch you in a way that will allow you to change and learn from my mistakes so that you don't make the same mistakes. If you can make your own original mistakes, that's cool. But when you make the same mistakes that other people make, when you have the opportunity to change that and not commit those mistakes, then that's on you. So hopefully this will help with that. I'm humbled to be here, and I hope that what I have to say will be appreciated. I had to take this from the Bible real quick. So 1 John 4:7, it just gives the definition of what love is according to the Bible, one definition. And it says, "Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love." So the title of our talk today is Sexual Healing. Anybody need some sexual healing? Yeah, I thought so. So I'm going to get raw. I'm going to get down to it, and we're gonna get some sexual healing today. Yes, indeed. How many players do I have out here? I'm not talking about athletics. I'm talking about you either play men or you play women. How many of you can admit it? Huh? I'm a former player. All right, you can see that? Yeah, I was a pretty raw player. Let me explain this. So my dad was a serious, and still is a serious player. All right, I just met my 45-year-old sister like 2 years ago. My dad and my mom, they were never married. And so I made it a point that I would never treat a woman the way my dad treated my mom. And so I said to myself, all right, I'm not going to be that kind of player. You know, when you're growing up in middle school and all that kind of elementary school, you say, oh, I got 6 girlfriends and you got 5 or whatever, you know, how many numbers you can get, all that kind of stuff. When I got out of that phase, I entered the real life of playership. So I would tell women, I would say, I'm not ready for a relationship, but you can be my friend. But here's my definition of being friends. I do such and such and such with my friends. What do I do? What is that such and such and such? Well, I have sex with my friends. I do all sorts of sexual activities with my female friends, right? But I would tell them up front, this is what it means to be my friend. And if you don't want to be my friend, that's okay. But if you are my friend, just know what I expect from you. You would think that this would turn the women away, but it actually was very inviting to them, because they felt like they would be the one to change me or hook me. But truth be told, I was the one hooking and changing them, making them compromise their belief system for my belief system. So in saying that, I don't do that anymore. As you know, I'm married happily. So, but I will say that in that process, I destroyed my life. And that's just the small part of it. I destroyed a multiplicity of other lives. Now, when I was at Oakwood in 97, 98, okay, that was my junior year of college. I transferred in from California. At that time, I had sex with at least 33 women at the age of 20. That was my number, all right? Yeah, you got some players out here? All right. So check it out. Check it out. So that was when I was 20. By the age 20, that was my count. Now I'm 37. I'll be 38 next month. All right? Now, I just got married this year, so, and I just stopped being a player this year. No, I'm just kidding. No, but the reality of it is, some of you know I was in the military. I left Oakwood, I joined the Marine Corps, and I was really living it up. I was really living it up. So my totals now, I have no idea where I'm at. Okay? So let's just say an average of 20 women a year. That's a low number. I'm 38. What was my count when I was 20? You do the math if you care to. I don't know. And it's not something that I'm proud of. And I'm not sharing it with you so you can be, you know, in awe of it. I'm sharing it with you so that you can stop it. All right? So, I said to myself, if I'm a true Christian, what does that mean? That means that I respect you and you and you. I respect everybody in here as a child of God. Right? So, if I'm a Christian and I say that I respect God and I love God, then my actions are not indicative of a Christian. So how can I call myself a Christian if I'm committing all these acts? And that's just on that part of it. That has nothing to do with everything else that I did. So I said to myself, all right, something's got to change. Something's got to give. So how many of you are in a relationship right now? Raise your hand. Some of you are not going to raise your hand because you're still playing, but that's cool. I'm going to say this though. If you're in a relationship, you're in a relationship because you most likely would like to get married, yes or no? How many of you want to get married? But see, I like the response that I'm getting right now, because all this, you're in a relationship, you don't really want to get married. So a lot of you are in relationships, but you're not thinking about marriage. But I guarantee you're thinking about some sexual healing. Right? I mean, let's just get real. I'm being real. So you should be real with me. If marriage is based on God, then if you make it to an engagement where you have a fiance, then that should be based on God, right? We're going to do some reverse planning here. So if my marriage is based on God, then my engagement should be based on God. And then before the engagement, my relationship should be based on God, right? And before that, before you have a relationship with someone, you've got to be friends, right? Right? That's the idea. So that means your friendship should be based on God as well, right? So if you look at someone and you say, that's someone who I think I might want to get to know better. Maybe marriage, even if it's not marriage, just get to know better. If you are a true Christian and if to love God is to do what? Keep his commandments, right? So if I'm breaking the adultery one over and over and over, right? How can I love God? How can I love myself? How can I love you? I say I love you, but do I really? If I'm doing these things, is that love or is that lust? So, love comes from God, right? Love is God. Is lust God? So what is lust? God is love. The devil is lust. So, with that in mind, who am I serving? Am I serving you or am I serving the devil? That's an easy one. So I said to myself, I said, okay, the friendship has to be based on God in order to get to the end result. And before that, I want to say this. I didn't respect anybody when I was going through this. I didn't respect women. I didn't respect myself. I didn't even respect men for that matter, because if you're a woman, if you had a woman, whether it was a wife, a girlfriend, a fiance, it didn't matter to me. If she showed some interest in me, I was not going to deny her. So I had no issue getting yours at all. All right? So I said to myself, I said, okay, I've got to love God, and I'm not doing that. So I have to be able to respect you as a person, which means that if you have a girlfriend, listen, I'm not married right now. If you had a girlfriend, right, and I said to myself, hey, I like her too, I'm interested in her too, you know, I'm not disrespecting you or your girlfriend. I'm disrespecting God, because you're a child of God, right? So if I disrespect you, who am I ultimately disrespecting? So if you disrespect me, who are you ultimately disrespecting? You get the picture now. You're not doing it to each other. You're doing it to God. So I charge you with this. We can go on and on and on and talk a lot longer than this, but I only got a few more minutes. So I want to charge you with this. Initiate something spiritual instead of initiating something sexual. So what that means is start looking at life and approaching life and relationships and just general. You know, I never had a friend who was a girl, because I always wanted to hit. That was my thing. So I'm just telling you like it is. If I can be delivered from that, I know you can. Lust is also a self-pleasing thing, right? How many of you struggle with masturbation? That's okay, I don't expect you to raise your hands. I must be the only one being real today. So I'm gonna tell you this before I close. You might not think of me the same, you might not want to shake my hand anymore. But does it look like I care? It doesn't matter to me. I used to masturbate 5 to 10 times a day. Yeah.
Be real. Be real.
That's okay, because some of you right now are saying, man, I did the same thing. And one day I hope that you can be real and true to yourself so that you also can be delivered from that. It's bigger than just sex. It's bigger than all this stuff. You have to learn how to love. And the only way that you can learn how to love is by allowing God to love you and show you what love is. Otherwise, you're going to continue down this lustful trail of serving the devil, because that's what it is. We all know what it is, right? So I got like 1 or 2 minutes left. I didn't get to say everything, but if anybody has a question, I will give you an answer. Yes.
How did your wife put you to stop?
Wait, say that?
How did your wife get you to stop being with her?
She didn't. No. Let me tell you, that's a great question she asked. How did my wife get me to stop? Let me tell you right now, no one on this earth will get you to stop sinning except for God. No one. God had to get me straight way before I got married. Because otherwise he wasn't going to allow it to happen. When your relationship is based in God, then things happen. When it's not, then the wrong things happen. So my wife and I, all that stuff was done way before that happened. Any other questions? Yes. Protection. Question. Hold on. Okay, she's right. She said, was I not afraid of getting STDs? You can. Luckily and prayerfully, it didn't happen. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got married. I am blessed. I was very blessed. And that's just on the sins I committed. I haven't even gotten into the other stuff, but do I have time for one more question? One more question, sir. How did I end up telling my wife? Well, when you have a relationship that's based on God, you have to be true to yourself before you can be true to anybody else. So I had no problem telling you all what I did. So what makes you think I would have a problem telling my wife? Right? So I'm telling you right now, learn how to be true to yourself so that you can be true to everyone else. Initiate something spiritual before you initiate something sexual.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for that level of transparency. We thank God for Javon Ross. And really quickly, in case you don't